Live in the studio with us today, author of the Amazon.com bestseller, Don't Forget the Soap. She's back with more heartwarming stories and tips for a happy life the Filipino way with her book, Don't Forget the Parsley. Marie-Claire Limor. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, Claire.
How are you?
Very well.
Thanks for joining us this morning.
Sure.
And I enjoyed both your books. Absolutely loved it. And tell us about this second book that you came up with.
Sure. Well, Don't Forget the Parsley, and more from my positively Filipino family. As the name suggests, that does talk about lessons I've learned from not just my mother this time, but my whole family. And as I'm balancing a demanding career and also a growing family, I have to keep in mind a lot of these important tips.
And you do have a very interesting family. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you grew up and the characters that they will be reading about in this book.
Sure. So my parents immigrated from the Philippines to Canada and the U.S. And so they were new immigrants and raised my brother and I there. And then now, several years later, my family, so my husband Alex and I, moved from New York to Singapore and Hong Kong. So a lot of the stories actually juxtapose being new immigrants for my parents in North America, and then us being, getting this expat experience in Asia, and the fundamental values we want to carry and share with our kids.
I don't want to spoil, for those who want to read the book, I don't want to spoil the stuff that they will find in here, but there are some interesting lessons and, like you said, valuable tips that maybe your parents passed on to you and life lessons that you've learned growing up with your family. But can you share some of them maybe just to give them an idea?
Sure, yeah, just some. I would say, both my parents really bring to mind this quote about the happiest people don't have the most of everything, right? They make the best of everything. And so when it comes to just being resourceful, and when it comes to gratitude, all of these things I've seen them do and I try to do as well. So it can be everything from tiny things, like when you move from country to country, often toys are shipped. So my kids don't have them. And my mother's able to scramble and, make toys out of macaroni and cheese boxes and raisin boxes. So small things like that, to just being resourceful when it comes to me in the workplace, or me at school, but when it comes to finding new opportunities and just looking for ways to use the most with your network, with your friends, with your family.
It's like life hacks. Right? It's like easy way to make something out of something difficult and making it like it's no big deal.
Exactly, and just keeping that perspective.
Right, it's great. And also you promote career family balance in your books as well. And this is something that you manage to do so well in your personal life. What are those things that maybe you can share some tips to those maybe mothers who are struggling with that right now?
Well, one of the things I have found as I've been doing more and more of these talks is that, many women do come to a point where they think, do I have to choose, right, between being a good mother or being a successful career person? And I just think it's inspiring as I've been able to also meet people who are balancing both. And there are practical things that you have to do. So some of what's worked for me, include first just being able to make your own rules. So even though corporate life demands a certain work culture and time in the office, can be a very hectic period, but you do need to integrate calendars with what works for your family. And it can even be Skyping from the car while in traffic, or when there are certain nights that my husband and I both are in the office with late meetings, and we'll have the kids come down for dinner at the office, so we can still kind of be consistent and keep that family time.
Right.
So you just have to get creative.
Right. Okay, lastly, title of your book, Don't Forget the Parsley. What is the story behind it?
Sure. So, like soap, like Don't Forget the Soap, Don't Forget the Parsley is a metaphor, and parsley just is a reminder for me that as we were growing up, my mother always said, as we set the table, don't forget the parsley, and it essentially just meant, even if it's the four of us, but adding color, to your life, adding color to the dining table, just keeping things exciting, on an everyday basis. So this can be applied to all aspects of your life.
Which is a great advice. Well, thank you so much again for coming in, Claire.
Sure.
Thank you, and good luck on your book.
Oh, yes, and we have the launch on Monday.
On Monday.
Yes. So I'll be at Fully Booked in Bonifacio, Global City, and would love to meet everyone there.
What time would that be?
And that's at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay, best of luck to you, Claire.
Sure. Thank you.
We just had best-selling author Marie Claire Lynn Moore with us tonight, this morning. And